Hello, everybody. So, welcome. Thank you all for coming tonight. If you can't tell from my very quiet outfit, I am your MC for the night. So, thank you. Who's excited to be here? No, it's not, I know it's a Friday. We've all been at the office. I was working too. I've come from Warragul. So, if I can do this, I will try again. Who's excited to be here? Yes, that's better. Thank you. All right. So, we thank you first to Melbourne Connect for hosting this awesome event. Like, what a lovely space to be having our pitch night. Yes, thank you. Thanks, Brian. Very excited. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Tasha Wright. So, I work for GippsTech. I lead our entrepreneur programs for Startup Gippsland. So, we run regional startup programs. So, David Hauser from Silicon Beach very kindly asked me to be your MC for the night. So, thank you, David, for having me tonight. I'm very excited. We have a packed night ahead. So, before we go any further, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we're gathered here tonight, the Warrandingi Woy Wurrung people and the Bunurong peoples. And I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and also extend that respect to Torres Strait Islanders and any elders of those present in the room tonight. So we have a little bit of an agenda for the night. Don't know if we've got it up on the screen. That's a great start. I'm the clicker. One moment, please. So we are going to do some exciting pitches. I know our startups are very keen to get up on stage and pitch to you guys. We're going to have some fun networking. You've already done that a little bit tonight, so hopefully you get to talk to some people that you haven't met before. So be brave and go and approach some people that you don't know. You never know, who's in the room and what awesome connections that you can make. We're going to have an exciting Q&A with our finalists. We've got amazing judges here tonight. Thank you for giving up your time to join us as well. So speaking of the judges, I'm actually going to invite the judges to the stage to introduce themselves. So we have Thomas Smalley from Scalata, Bonnie Zhang from Tram, Farley Blackman from Carbon Revolution, and Rory McNeice from the University of Melbourne. Let's give the judges a massive round of applause for joining us tonight. So you're first on my list. Thomas Smalley, would you like to come up and introduce yourself? Quick pitch for pitch night.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting this, so I'll be super brief. Tom Smalley, investment manager at Scalata Ventures. We're an early stage venture capital fund. We invest across ANZ in market-ready, capital lean, innovative startups. We look to invest, sub $5 million valuation. Always happy to have a chat to anyone here who's here tonight. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks, Thomas. Bonnie, would you like to come up to the stage?
Hello, everyone. Is my mic on? I don't think so. Thank you. I am Bonnie. I work at TRAM, which stands for Translating Research at Melbourne. Our bread and butter is supporting researchers to start startups. So my big focus is on early stage, translating research, extracting it outside of the lab, kooky, crazy ideas, and turning it into something that achieves impact that they want to see. So I'm really excited to hear 6 exciting, kooky maybe, ideas tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie. Farley, would you like to come to the stage?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Farley Blackman. I've got a fairly eclectic career, so I've been in big corporates for most of my career at companies like General Electric, BP, which is British Petroleum, Motorola, everything from being the Chief Technology Officer of Motorola to the Chief Procurement Officer of BP globally, to most recently running a tech and innovation hub here in Melbourne that grew substantially until COVID, and we had to shut it down at the end of last year. Carbon Revolution actually is a ASX-listed company, and I'm helping them with strategy, commercial, and capital raise. So I'm happy to be here and hear their stories and help as any way I can. Thanks.
Thank you, Farley. And Rory.
I'm going to swap microphones with you because this was your MC microphone. And
Oh, that's
it's
okay.
that way.
I'll share. It's fine. Okay, right.
having done some audio in my time, I thought it'd be nice to put the right microphone in the right hands. Hello, I'm Rory. I run the Velocity Early Stage Pre-Accelerator for the Melbourne Accelerator program here at the University of Melbourne. Bit about me, I've been working with startups for about 10 years, both here and in the UK. I've done some time with Omni Studio, which exited in 2019, which was good fun. Worked with some people getting the Angel Partners Angel Network off the ground through 2020 and 2021. And now I'm back here at the university helping very early stage entrepreneurs figure out who's their customer, what's the problem, and what's the problem product market fit. It's very exciting. Looking forward to hearing some great pitches tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Rory. So you haven't been very busy at all over the last couple of years, clearly. So the reason we're all here tonight, who's ready to hear some people pitch? Okay, so I thought, we might have learnt from the intro. Who's ready to hear some people pitch? I certainly am. So first cab off the ranks. I know she's very excited to be here. So Eugenia, would you like to join us on stage, please? Give her a round of applause, everybody.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Eugenia. I'm the co-founder of Inspiring Chats. When was the last time you joined the community, whether it's a founder network, industry association, or interest student club, anything like that? And why did you join the community? The number one reason why people join communities is connection. And being a bit more specific, connecting with like-minded people who share your interests, experiences, and values. And this is not just coming from my personal experience being a community manager, but also from user interviews and quantitative research data. When a community is first getting started, everything's relatively straightforward. But when the community grows to hundreds or thousands of members, that's when engagement starts to become a problem. Mainstream platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, or Slack groups are no longer effective because often you either get too many notifications and messages and it's hard to keep track, or there's too few interactions and it's just the community feels a bit dead, unfortunately. And also, on top of that, it's very low visibility on finding out who's doing what in these large communities. And when it comes to connection and matching, the existing automated solutions often only generates random matches. And when it comes to matching people up on Excel sheets, it's very time consuming. It's a Friday, we need a bit of a meme. So when you're managing a community, the last thing you want to see is your community members becoming unengaged or inactive. And I'm one of those community managers, and that's why I decided to solve this problem. So a bit about our solution. Inspiring Chats is all about empowering meaningful community connections at scale. And apologies, I actually checked my slides. It's showing up a bit interesting here. But yeah, we'll just move on. So on the platform, you can simply reach out to other community managers through our community directory, and you can book a chat with them or message them direct. You can do a few swipes through our speed networking feature. And you also receive curated one-on-one email introductions that comes into your inbox on a regular basis. A bit about our team. So Renaud, my co-founder, actually built the platform from scratch with his great dev and data skills. And I'm the hustler taking care of BD, marketing, and also product. A bit about our traction. Although we only launched our MVP about a year ago, we now have over $12,000 in revenue, 10% month-to-month growth, and we just accepted into the Monash Accelerator program with $10,000 funding. Our business model is B2B SaaS based on subscription model. We have 3 existing clients, and we have 15 clients in the pipeline across venture capital firms, universities, government organizations, and industry associations. The single most stats that we're most proud of is actually that 90% of positive user feedback that we have received on our platform for the connections and conversations we have facilitated. And seeing those positive user feedback coming in directly from the platform is so heartwarming and motivating. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eugenia. That was wonderful. So next to join us up on stage is Robin. Yay! So just green and then...
Hi everyone, I'm founder and CEO of Revisit, and I'm so grateful to be here tonight. My co-founders and I are business builders and learners, and we've got experience in analytics, in building technical scaling and community building experience. And we're grabbing a couple of advisors like Al to super skill up our sets. All right, hands up if you've ever had more than 10 tabs open in your window browsers. What about if you've looked for an article that you read a week or two ago and you've spent time and you can't find it? All right. Do you ever feel frustrated that bookmarks and browser histories don't give you exactly what you need? What if you could instantly revisit information without having to do anything new? Okay, Revisit is like Grammarly for learning and research. We organise your information for easy access, and then we use AI to resurface that information when it's relevant, like when you're looking at your Google search results or overlaying over articles to give you more context from around the web. Revisit is for students who need to learn something new in a short amount of time. It allows you to easily ingest and demonstrate learning. Or for startup people like founders, developers, investors or analysts, when they're looking at product and market research, Revisit helps you make better, faster decisions. I cannot go forward. Okay, the productivity management software market is worth $48 billion, and the content management and collation market is worth $18 billion. But the problem is that a lot of these tools are made for super organised people. They require behavioural change, and that is going to be a lot. So what I'm going to say is that I need to go forward, and we are a freemium model. A lot of the basic functionality is going to be free, but we are going to allow you to share with your friends and look at files and social media and conversations at $5 a month. And we were given pre-seed funding by Antler in May, and we've got 3 weeks ago we started our problem validations conversations. We've had more than 50 conversations, more than 100 interviews on our wait list, and we'll be having our MVP starting in October. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Robin. As someone that is a bit OCD with organisation, I'm very excited about your business. So next, welcome to the stage, Mohammed. Oh, he's got a bit of a fan club in the room. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Have you ever thought that you can help or raise money without spending a cent out of your pocket? It is impossible. But through iCause, it is possible now because we are helping purpose-driven people to raise money what they like to do. iCause is a crowdfunding platform which helps charities, schools, community, social groups, anyone, individuals. This is an ecosystem where there's small organizations, there's charities, and there's individuals as well. As an example of Jenny, she's got 4 kids. She likes to help raise money and help charities. Unfortunately, Jenny doesn't have money. She's got 4 kids. Jenny goes on iCause and switch and donate her bill by changing her provider and helping raise the money of her cause. This is just for small organization, just showing how it can work. This is a utility section where people can go swap their energy provider, telco provider, home insurance, and without taking a cent out of their pocket, they can help raise money for the charity or any organization of their choice. This is just an example. People can share, like, embed the code on their website if there's a small charity. This is large charities. They need much powerful tool, which iCause provide through your dashboard. You can link social media, you can send email, SMS, you can send up to 100,000 email and SMS through the dashboard. Quite powerful system. This is how it works. I'm going to run through it because I don't have much time because I want to be a brown cookie who finishes quicker. This is how you make the profile. Upload the bill. And this is our app. We are on iOS as well as on Android. Supported by Cheap Bills Engine, which is another business of mine, which does switch and donate bill, and we've got other payment option as well. And the reason why I started iCause was to give back something to the community, and the market right now is globally $17.5 billion. Australia-wide is $74 billion. This is my journey. I was a ranked tennis player in Pakistan. Unfortunately, that's a slide for squash. I have raised money since I've started my first business, which is Cheap Bills, which has done extremely well. It's been there for the last 10 years. Let's make the future of fundraising easy. Thank you.
Thanks, Mohammed. I told Mohammed he owed me a drink if he went over time, but I think skipping through is kind of a little bit cheating there, I'm not going to lie. Very well done. So, Anna, please join us up on stage. Up to you.
Great. Hi, thank you. My name is Anna and I am the co-founder of Flint. Now, I'd like to just survey the room. Who here is a business owner? By a show of hands, hands up. Great. Who likes to do their own marketing content? Great. No one. And that is what we have found as far as our research goes. I don't know how to use this. Great. So, essentially, what we have found is that right now it takes up to 6 hours to create one piece of content. And yet business owners are sitting on a mountain of content because they know what problem they solve for their customers. And yet the reason that they don't share that is because of the time and the difficulty that it takes to share content. Well, what if I could tell you that we can repurpose? We can take copy that you've got and then turn it into something that is going to be completely viable across multiple channels. So Flint was developed to help business owners create more content with less effort by taking long-form copy and repurposing it automatically at a click of a button to social media and email platforms. We've got a team who have collectively have 17 years plus experience in social media and marketing and are there to support the build and also the marketing and the user for Flint. So essentially what it does is it's a single-step program that is easy to use, it's a repurposing tool, and we provide education. This is how Flint works. So we've surveyed the market and we currently are looking to work with solopreneurs and SMEs because they are the people that currently don't post anything, and yet it is no longer okay to just have your problem to your products and services on your socials and your website. You must share regular, valuable content. We do have competitors in this space, but what we found through our user testing is that our platform is time effective and easy to use. Right now, to do what Flint does, we need to put together a minimum of 3 difficult platforms that don't really provide the outcomes that small business owners and solopreneurs are searching for. I think we're out of time. So essentially, this is what we're looking for. We've launched, we have user experience testing, we've launched our MVP, we have gotten great feedback, and we're now at a point where we're ready to market and to scale. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Anna. Who have we got next? Santosh. Give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Clicker. Green forward.
Hello, everyone. My name is Santosh, and I am the founder of Smart Heal, an app simplifying wound care. I've worked in healthcare as a doctor and a nurse over 15 years across various settings. And what I've learned is I'm very passionate about wounds. According to Wounds Australia, which is the peak body for wounds in Australia, it's a hidden epidemic. Each year we spend $3 billion on Medicare patients alone. At any given time, 500,000 Australians suffer from chronic wounds and end up spending $20 billion out of pocket. Three biggest challenges in the healing of chronic wounds, and that's my graphic image, is that God forbid if any of you had a wound and I had to measure it, I'd actually have a paper ruler over your wound. And if I had to measure the depth of it, I'll actually put a dipstick in your wound. Ouch. So what is the solution? And the second problem is inaccurate wound assessment, lack of timely referral, and third is inappropriate wound products. Yes, we're running. Solution, Smart Heal. We allow you to take a no-touch photo with your phone camera and provide you accurate automatic assessment and measurements, saving you time, labor, and money. We also assist you in making that assessment, as I said, providing you that opportunity to make that referral. And we also suggest dressing recommendations, taking the guesswork out. Our business model includes subscription and advertising. We've been on a roll with traction since we've launched a prototype. We've won pitch comps. We've accepted in various programs. One of the pitch comps came with 10 grand cash prize. We've also been funded for legal solutions, digital marketing, and as a result of that, we got some media. In terms of milestone and roadmap, we've been way ahead and kicking goals. We were going to have a MVP in July, which is already out. We're going to market, and we're now doing paid pilots with 3 organizations. We've also scored a collab with RMIT Uni. This is our projected revenues, the second largest NDIS provider. Even if we just look at the numbers, we still end up making $1 million a month. This is a team of people we once dreamt of having meetings with, and now our advisory board. We are very, very grateful. Our vision is to be the change. And competitor-wise, we are first to market in Australia, and we ask that you assist us with mentors, NDIS, aged care providers. A similar company validating the competition in US has just been bought out for $150 million. Thank you so much for your time.
Well done. Thank you, Santosh. Pinch my clicker back. And I can't believe it, but that was it. We are done with all the pitches. That went by so fast. Well done. Give everyone a round of applause for our startups. Well done. So I'm sure our startups are ready for a drink after that. So we're going to break out into some networking, guys. So Bonnie, how about those startups? Amazing.
Absolutely incredible. We've seen tonight that there's living proof that innovation is out there. So how fabulous. We have had a deliberation over in the room next door, and we've narrowed it down to our 3. I think we should get a drum roll going. All right, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. So I'm just going to pick a random one in our list of 3. Smart Heal. Congratulations. And let's get a drum roll for everyone. Another drum roll. We have picked Flint. And last but not least, and the drum roll again, Revisit.
Thanks, Bonnie. How exciting, guys. Well done. Very well deserved. So we're going to jump into some Q&A with our judges now. So you've all got a mic, so I'm sure you know how this works. Judges, feel free to fire away. We've got plenty of time.
To begin with, and this is just a general question for all three of you, I'd just love you all to just walk through really quickly, maybe in about a minute, just how the technology that you've built actually works. Maybe starting first with Smart Heal, because you're on my left.
Sure, thank you. That's a great question because we're very much tech-oriented at this stage. So how the tech work is we started with an idea, then we started, is it doable, interviewed about 18 companies. Can it be done? And yes, it can be done. Then we started putting wireframes together. We did an MVP, took that MVP to wound consultants, nurses, doctors. And now what we, with that prototype, we kept, so it's a working prototype, and then we kept testing it. So at the moment, in our tech, there's quite a different elements. So for example, we have depth, we have moisture, we have measurements, and there's quite a cross-pollination from other industries. So for example, with moisture, we're picking something from soil industry, for example, and then we have a delivery milestone. So we're not releasing all the tech at the same stage. The one we are going to at the market is release 1, which is remote sharing, and we're trialing, as I said, with the NDIS, SA Health, and there's a wound consultancy in Greece, is what we're trialing with. So basically, you take a photo, you did get the measurements, there's a chat function, there's notes function, you can attach documents, you can, actually that photo can be shared. So if I took a photo here in Greece, you could see it as a doctor, as a wound consultant, so that's how it works. When we go to next milestone, so for example, if we release the appointment function, the video call function, and if we release the depth function, then obviously that's how the tech would start working. Hopefully that answers your question, but because there's different milestones, the different tech elements and whatever goes in the back end is how it works. But we have CTOs, we have a Flutter developer, we have web architect, and we have a full team that works on it. Thank you.
So the technology, really, my background is in marketing and comms, and I was working with small business owners, helping them to be visible across multiple channels. And what I was doing is providing a strategy on how they can repurpose long-form copy. So take a blog or an article and really just put it through a strategic process to write it easily in a way that's repurposable, and then teaching them how to create the images, how to write the copy, how to schedule it, how to post it, etc. And what I found was that even though I was giving people a full strategic sheet or a checklist, they weren't doing it. And the reason was because it's too hard. So I thought there needs to be technology that can just do this for you. I had a good research around what technology is currently available. So we've got Hootsuite that is a scheduling tool. There's MailChimp that sends out emails. There's Canva that creates images, but it still doesn't give you a strategy on how to create and repurpose that content. So essentially, we initially started building it with an idea of it being more of a CRM marketing tool, and found that that wasn't the right path. And so we built all of the tech based on a content form. We integrated it with stock imagery software, and we integrated with Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And so what it basically does is, as a user, you input your content, heading, subheading, information into the content form, click the button, and it basically splices that information based on strategy and AI onto social media posts across Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. It will create up to 5 different posts, and it also will send out an email to your database. So it really just simplifies the steps it currently takes, so that people who do nothing and know they need to do something can really quickly and easily put their content out onto the 3 most used social media platforms.
Well, I should say I feel a bit embarrassed sitting up here on the stage with these ladies because they're obviously well more developed than us. Literally 4 weeks ago, we threw out the business that we were working on and pivoted to Revisit. So this is the end of week 4. What Revisit is a browser extension that you download. And we also have a knowledge base that lives in the cloud, and that will be our MVP, using AI to resurface from your browser histories information in an organised way. So when you click our little Revisit button, say you were searching for Tesla, when you click our little revisit button, anything that you've looked that can be over the last month or in your history will show up, organised by the number of times you visited it, the last time you visited it. We have a second button called Read Later, where you can click it and it'll go straight into your knowledge base and show up as something that you can read later. So the second thing we have is the cloud knowledge base, where everything that you've looked at and everything that you continue to look at automatically is generated into a knowledge base that's sorted by topic, and it also has these read later. And ultimately, it'll also be an app that does the same thing.
Could I add just 10 seconds? You asked how it works. So basically, it is just an enterprise B2B where you get a link and only then you can download it on your device. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll jump in. Robin, I'm interested to know a bit more about how are you capturing the information in the first instance? So, like, yes, it's a browser extension, but how are you gathering the information if I'm reading about, I don't know, the NTSB reports into airplane crashes?
Right. So is this something that you've browsed on the internet?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're looking at, for a start, we're looking at your browser histories and what you've done to build up the initial information. We won't have a lot of information on you when you first use the product, but what we will do is automatically that first article you look at will go live into your knowledge base. So your knowledge base will exist from day one. We'll also look at what bookmarks and browser histories we can scrape in for the start. And I'll be able to tell you a lot more about it on Monday when I see the prototype.
And so I'm assuming from that when you're talking about the knowledge base, that'd be like my personal repository of information.
It will be your personal repository. You will own that data. You'll have the rights to that data. We are not going to resell that data for advertising. We are a for purpose and a B Corp company.
Yep.
We're very much interested in the future of education as well. So we want to work with universities to make a student-led product. And 1% of our profits, if we ultimately make them, will go towards education, the future of education for people.
Okay, great. In terms of privacy and security, how are you handling that? Because obviously if you're sucking up all this information about everything that I've ever read online,
yes,
I don't want anybody else finding out about that.
Fortunately, my technical co-founder, Daniel, is a very strong pedigree. He was the first employee of Bright and built up to the head of IT of that team. And then he was the CTO of Nectar, Hanwha's retail energy company. He's got a very good, strong, obviously the Bright product was a buy now, pay later for solar. He comes from a financial background, and our other business partner, Shivam, investment banker background. I ran the credit card portfolio at NAB, and we all understand how privacy and data works. So, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Maybe I'll just, I guess, ask a general question around each of your customers. If you could be really clear and tell us who your customers are and why. And I guess the third part would be the commercialization of the customers.
Sure. Sure. So with our customers, again, we have a roadmap, but currently our target users are NDIS because they don't have as much as a skilled workforce, and aged care. So these are the two industries we've been gaining a lot of interest from. Also, wound consultants. Why they are, because wound consultants are the one going out, and there's very few and far between. There's not a large number of wound consultants. They are the ones who specialized. So how it works in aged care, even if you have the GPs, you still need wound consultants review for the wounds. Those are our target customers at this stage. So it's pretty much B2B, and then these are the target industries we're targeting. We could go B2C down the track, but that's not something we're focusing on at this stage. Commercialization-wise, current customer base is one of the largest NDIS provider. We are finalizing the cohort of 10 houses. Each house has 5 patients, so that's 50 houses with that NDIS provider. With the SA Health, we have 15 patients, and with the wound consultancy in Grace, we have 20 patients cohort going ahead and trialing. But commercialization, again, implementing a go-to-market strategy, which is finalizing this trial of 12 weeks and at the same time scaling and growing the business using a Salesforce team and growing in this industry and then scaling as we go down the track. Hopefully that answers your question. Thank you.
So our customer base is primarily solopreneurs and small business owners with small teams. We're looking at people who have been in business for potentially 1 to 2 years, people who know what they do, but just don't know how to effectively share that across social and email. We're not looking at customers currently that have a marketing team that does their content creation for them. But what we're finding is primarily focusing on the service provider market, not the product-based market, because service providers currently need to be able to build their know, like, and trust. Trust is built through being able to share content that is educational and valuable to their ideal customers. And so we're really cornering the market of the service providers, solopreneurs, small business owners. We're starting in Australia, and then we're looking to grow that. Our growth strategy is then working with teams that do have a marketing team and also working with marketing agencies to be able to enable social media agencies to create content for their customers through enterprise models. And our go-to-market strategy initially is through organic marketing, working through our webinar marketing strategy, communicating and connecting with our ideal customers, onboarding through a webinar, through Facebook group and through education on how to create that content. And then our next milestones is to improve the user experience on the web app so that we can really encourage self-service subscriptions where people can just jump on and really onboard themselves. And once we have updated that, we're going to then invest in advertising through social media. It really, the platform is perfectly set up to be able to do an advertising strategy through social, given that it is a social media and email marketing tool.
All right, again, obviously we're very early days, but we're working with 3 customer personas at this stage. We're focusing on students, on people in the startup ecosystem who are researching a lot. Obviously, students are having to learn a lot in a short amount of time. And we found a couple of other professionals that are jumping out in our problem validation statements are people like barristers and copywriters that are spending a lot of their time researching and learning new things. As I mentioned very, very briefly, because I thought the 2-minute bell was the 3-minute bell, so sorry about that. As I mentioned very briefly, we are running a freemium model, so the knowledge base and the browser extension will be free to a certain limit of data. Beyond that, we're expecting people to pay for the sharing ability and the ability to access content across their conversations, across their files, and across social media as we add those features. And that, as I said, $5 per month per person is what we're going to test. So productivity for the price of a coffee. We think as we add more specific features that people need, gradually things like for potentially influencers with big, enormous amounts of people that they might want to get information out to, we can add certain functionality. And with enterprises, when we're talking about people being able to share across teams, once we get the privacy and those sort of issues really tackled to an enterprise level, that we might be able to charge more as well. But this is all hypothesis at the moment. We are going to be community-led for building, so we've started focus groups with those key personas, and we are getting people on board to be key people within each of those communities. Later this year, we'll take that community online and try and grow it through networks and find communities of people like these personas where they want to learn and share knowledge, and that's how we plan to grow.
I'll pass this one to all 3 of you. What we're hearing is you're at quite diverse stages in where you're at, whether that's early, you've got a technology and customization and commercialization. So for you at this stage, how do you articulate what your next milestone is? And what I heard today is not only the milestone, but what's the next pebble? So what's that next immediate thing to get you to that milestone? So I'll throw to all of you for that.
Good question. So we've done quite a bit of user testing, and we've got our product market fit is obviously there. We definitely solve a problem. Marketing is a problem for every single business, but we know that what's going to really give us the edge is really great creative. So the way that the creative is designed is what's going to give us the edge. And so our really next milestone is to update our user experience and enable not just good creative, but enable our users to do front-end customization of the content that is created. So really, we're looking at engaging a full-time, full-stack developer that can really support the back-end structure as well as our front-end user experience, and then retest that with our current users, as well as continuously onboarding new users. So that's really where our next milestones lie, so that we're then able to, as I said earlier, turn on those self-service subscriptions so that it makes it a real quick no-brainer for somebody to jump on at $19 a month and have their content created, posted and tracked at the click of a button.
Can you go ahead, please? Thank you.
Sure. So our first thing that's happening is the prototype coming out on Monday. Beyond that, the MVP coming out in October. Obviously, the main thing we've got to do is find product market fit. You know, we're still very early stage. We need to work with our community and our personas to actually make sure that we're providing what we want. It's very important to us that as a product, because we had tried other tools in the market, and that's why we've created this. We were trying to effectively share learning across our team, and it wasn't working for us. What we think is very strong values in what we're trying to build is we don't want it to be distracting at any stage. We want things to come up in context when you need them, not be distracting and keep you in flow. So for that, we need to put on a designer as well at the front end. Daniel's got very strong technical ability, but the usability of the product is going to be really important. We have runway till February. We need to raise a little bit of money to get over that hurdle, to get a designer on board. And we need people to join us at revisit.org. Please join the waitlist. Thank you.
Thank you. So pebble or challenge, the reason I was passing, I was like, which one do I pick? So I think the immediate one is having more wound photos, because we are doing is we are training a model in-house. So we're developing a proprietary tech, and it is at 80% accuracy. So we need 5,000 more wound photos. So if you fall off a skateboard, send me your photo, please. I'd love that. So the solution is that it's hard to get data locally within Australia. So we are trying to work with Monash to get data from US, because they have done a project on genomes where they've been able to get some data from Monash. The next milestone is to, again, have more accuracy with the model, and also at the same time start releasing our milestone 2, for which we need more capital. And at this stage, we have financial runway till June next year. But at the same time, if we wanted to start getting to market with a release 2, which does have our unique IP of wound measurements. If we had the capital, we could go to market sooner, which means we could hire more tech as well to work on that AI model. And we are also to ask, yes, please do follow us on LinkedIn and other social medias. But yeah, if you have any connections in NDIS, aged care, because that is also an avenue for us to get more data to build our tool better. So the more customers we can get, the more our data can be better. Thank you.
Thanks. Maybe I'll just pick up on Smart Heal. What about liability? How does that work if there is the wrong diagnosis and someone dies?
Yes, very good question. And it is a huge thing. And once we decide going down that route, we need to have proper pathways around that. So that's why we have a delivery roadmap. So for example, the release 1, we are going, it's remote sharing. So we've done a lot of Q&A, a quality assurance around it. Then you have to have proper pathways. What happens if your Wi-Fi doesn't work? What happens if your iPad battery dies and you're about to take photos? So you need to have business continuity plans. You need to have insurances. In terms of making diagnoses with TGA, which is a regulatory body, you need to have this pathway that you need to meet. Are you replacing the clinician? Are you making recommendations to the clinician? So at this stage, we're not doing that, but that is the vision, so we will do that. And when we do that, what's the liability is that you have editable fields, the clinicians, so for example, even if I'm using Smart Heal, at the end of the day, it'll still be using my whole wound assessment. Is it, has the tissue and everything's looking? So we will still be, the clinician will still be finalizing and making the decisions, but that is something at the forefront and will obviously not be taking it very, very lightly. And being a clinician, I can understand, and I really place a lot of value. So it's not something we'll be taking lightly. It's at the forefront, and as we progress, we will be putting measures in place. And for that reason, we're in constant discussions with TGA, even though we've made ourselves sure that we're not regulated at this stage. We've had an external commercial body make it clear for us as well that we're not regulated, but we've still decided to go ahead and have a discussion with TGA for that purposes. Thank you. Good question.
Thank you.
I've been told we've got time for one more question. I'm going to be very mean and ask the meanest question that I could come up with. And I'm sorry, Robin, it's to you.
Oh,
How are you going to beat Google at data search?
we're not trying to beat Google. For a start, that would be crazy. For a second, Google isn't interested in what I search on browsers that are not Google. Google thus far hasn't tried to solve this problem. That's not to say that they won't, and if they did, yes, obviously that would be an issue for us, but I think an easier path is actually we do something and do it very nicely and just solve a little bit of a niche that Google isn't going after. Thus far they haven't, I think you guys will put your hands up to say that how many of you had more than 10 tabs open today? Yeah.
I have more than 10 open right now.
Yeah.
On both my phone and my computer, and they're all different.
Absolutely. I tend to have 3 windows open with about 20 or 30 browsers, 20 or 30 tabs on each. I will be the biggest user of this if it works. I don't think that is a problem that Google is interested in solving right at this time. So, look, it's a fair question, and we did ask ourselves, but I think there is a niche to go after that's the lowest common denominator to do something simple and do it very well. Rather than making it all things for all people, just do something well first and then see who our audience is and then build for our audience that are going to pay us.
Great, thank you.
Well done, guys. It's not easy to be up here under the heat. So once again, give our startups a round of applause, guys. Well done, ladies. So one second, Carl. It's all good. I know you're excited. So you certainly haven't made our judges' job easy at all. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Judges, if you would care to head out and deliberate, you've got about 10 minutes to have a chat and make the decision. We will call you back. All right, well, I can see our judges snuck back in. So I hope you guys have had a good night tonight. Have you enjoyed yourselves? Have you been inspired? Yeah, I should say so. I certainly have. Amazing. So I believe Rory is going to join us up on stage because he has some very exciting news for one of our finalists.
Thanks, sorry, I should have gone the other way. Yeah, this is audio experience, yes. Stage management, no. Thank you all. Tonight has been very interesting and exciting for us as judges. I will say that if you ever want time to go quickly, judge pitches. 10 minutes takes about 10 seconds, it feels like, especially when we've got such high quality pitches as we had here tonight. It was much deliberation and much discussion, and you all gave us a lot to think about. But I'm pleased to say that Santosh Smart Heal, you are our winner tonight. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rory. Well done, Santosh. But yeah, well done to every one of the startups. Like, you were all phenomenal. You should be all very proud of yourselves. As I said, I'm very inspired. I've only just met you all today. And I'm a little bit proud. Okay, so multitasking, we're not going anywhere. We're not doing networking. We're done, apparently. So Carol, I thought there was one more slide there. Thanks, David, for that. So I just wanted to thank Melbourne Connect one more time as well. Rochelle, if she's still in the room, I don't know, I can't see you, but thank you for organising everything for this beautiful space. Yeah, it's lovely. Thank you to our bar staff, my favourite people for the night, and I'm sure I'm not alone with that. Thank you to our audio guys and also the staff here at Melbourne Connect that helped set everything up for us. We really appreciate your hard work, made everything run smoothly, so thank you. To our judges, thank you for giving up your valuable time. Know how busy you all are, so yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time to support these startups. To Silicon Beach, of course, for organising the final event for Innovation Week. What an awesome way to finish on Friday, to finish Innovation Week. So thank you, David and Brian and the whole Silicon Beach team as well. Amazing, amazing job. To our startups once again, and to you guys, thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you for supporting our startup community. They wouldn't be here, if it wasn't for the communities that we have here in Victoria. So it's important to thank the consumers and as well. So as I'm sure you ladies will agree. So thank you all. I hope you had a great night. Have an awesome weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all at the next event.